We'll start up here in the front. It has one new 12-volt battery on the front of the unit. It also has a 20-pound propane cylinder that is full, except for what we use to service the trailer. We went ahead and turned the valve on there. We have a 7-way holder that keeps your 7-way up off the ground and keeps it from getting corroded, and a chain holder that keeps the chains up so they don't get corroded. And as we start down the off-door side, you got a big compartment underneath the master bed, magnet that holds the door up. There is also a manual crank handle there, 3/4 inch socket on the end of it for doing the 2 BLs on the back 2 corners. First connection past that is the outside of the furnace. It's going to suck cold air in the bottom, hot air at the top. I always suggest putting a mud dauber screen over the outside of the furnace for the simple fact the mud dauber screen is less than 20 bucks. It's $155 an hour for every hour that I have to take the furnace out and clean the mud daubers out of it. Once it's been lit on propane, for some reason they love that smell. They go over there, they build their little dirt nest, and it cuts your airflow down so that your furnace doesn't cycle properly. The next connection back is your freshwater tank fill. Fills there with a water hose. Right down below that, there is a white cap on the end. That is the freshwater tank drain for draining the fresh tank. Then we're going to go to the hot water heater. It has a anode rod in the bottom that is also the drain plug for the hot water heater. But an anode rod actually draws all the impurities out of the water to that rod, eats the rod up instead of eating up the inside of the tank. This is a good example of it, where it's eat the rod up. Almost got the steel rod in the center showing, so that's almost time to replace. But it is gas only, so I'm gonna have to show you the rest of it when we get to the inside. But before you light it on gas, you always want to come out here and pop the pop-off valve. Make sure you have water all the way up to the top before you turn it on gas. So we're going to close it back up. Lug nuts have been torqued at 100 foot-pounds. That's what's recommended on the side. The tires are air ducted pressure, which is 65 pounds on the side of the tire cold. It has a 30 amp cord that goes on, makes a quarter of a turn. The blue light indicates that it has 110 power coming to it. Then we have our white cap back here in the back, which is the city water connect that you can hook to with a water hose and a regulator and never have to fill the tank, work right off the water pressure going to that. On our termination valves, the 2-inch gray valve in the front will be the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, and the shower water. The 3-inch valve in the back will be the toilet water only. Sewer hose goes on. Pull the 3-inch valve first, let all the nasties come out that'll come out, then pull your gray handle. It'll help kind of clean out the inside of the sewer hose itself. Then we have our 2 low water drain points. The red side is the hot side of the water system. The blue is the cold side of the water system. You'll use those in between long trips and for winterizing and dewinterizing purposes. Right down below that is the BL jack. That is a stabilizer jack. It's not for leveling from side to side. It is just for stabilizing while you walk through the center. Then we also have a park cable hookup out here on the outside, so that if your park that you're at has cable, you can hook your cable to that, and you'll have the same cable on your TV on the inside as the park does. Or if you're at home and have cable, you can hook your cable coax to this, and you'll have the same TV settings that you have at home. Once we come around here to the back, it is prepped for a backup camera up top. It also has a spare tire on the back that's been air ducted pressure. If it's not been torqued on, it's been put on with a wrench, and it does have the new Parkland RV cover over it. While we're back here, we can look up at the top. My theory on the campers is the roof is the life expectancy of the camper. Anything happens to the roof up on top, it will start showing on the 4 corners. So I would check it every 90 days. You don't have to seal it every 90 days, but the quicker you can find a problem on top and fix it, the better off you are. Our second stabilizer jack on the corner over here on this side.
And these are for stabilizing, right?
Stabilizing only. They're not for leveling from side to side, just for stabilizing while you walk through the center of the trailer. Then we have a 110 outlet on the outside out here on the front side of the unit, so you can listen to the ball game underneath the canopy if you want. We have one more connection out here. It is a 2-prong solar panel hookup that you can buy. The little solar panel that sits out in front of the trailer that will recharge the battery on the front only. We're going to go back to the steps. Steps got a rounded curve to them, so we're going to lift up in the center, pop out. We're going to grab a hold of the handle, flip the steps out, open the door. We're going to go to the inside. It has a working fire extinguisher on the right hand side as we come in. So we'll start up in the master bedroom area, which is kind of odd for me. I never do that first. But it has a 110 outlet on the right hand side of the cabinet. Does have a pretty good sized little closet off on the right hand side for hanging clothes. Does have a shelf up on top. We do have a smoke detector on top. Makes this annoying little sound. We also have a fire escape window on the off door side. See, I told you it was annoying. Little red handle comes out, goes all the way through the window frame for access out on this side here. Does have a little red tab on the screen that you pull loose first, taking the screen loose from the window. Red handle comes out, goes all the way through the bottom of the window frame for access out there. If I'm not mistaken, it does have a little access underneath the bed here that you can access into that front compartment. Pretty good sized compartment underneath there. Does have the hole cut in the handle already. As we start down this side here, there is a place for a TV. Got a TV backer, a 110 outlet to plug it into, and a park cable hookup or antenna hookup. 110 outlet to the right side of the kitchen sink. We're going to go into the refrigerator. The thermostat controls for the refrigerators in the upper right hand corner. Nice size little refrigerator. Does have a pretty good sized shelf underneath it. It does also access to your water pump. The water pump already has a 1 valve bypass on it for winterizing. And it is in the normal operating position now. When you get ready to winterize, all you have to do is turn it to a little hose with the cap on the end of it, stick this out, stick it down in your jug antifreeze, suck antifreeze through the whole system of the unit. So we're going to turn that valve right back the way it was. There's 2 screws in the panel right down below it. Those 2 screws that come out accesses you into the back of the hot water heater. The hot water heater has 2 of those little white valves on it. Both the valves are pointed towards the hot water heater right now, letting cold water go in the bottom, hot water come out the top. When you get ready to winterize, they turn sideways, which makes a loop at the back of the hot water heater for winterizing purposes. 110 outlet on the left side of the kitchen sink for the coffee pot. And we're going to lift this glass stove top up 2 times up out of the way. Going to turn the little button on the right hand side on, push it on the knob. Automatically it lights the 2 burners up on top. While the burners are working, it does have a red glow to them, indicating that it has gas coming through it. When they're shut off, they have the blue. So I'm going to turn them back off. This is the most important piece of paper in the whole unit. It is the appliance information sheet. It tells you what the appliances are, who manufactured them, and the model and serial number. All the rest of the paperwork that was in the trailer is in this brown bag here. So I'm going to stick it back down in there. 3 good sized drawers. Kitchen utensils. Cloths, napkins, sponges. Then we're going to go down to the breaker box. The breaker box is marked from the left to the right, with your 30 amp main being your first one, your 20 being your AC, and then you have 2 15s that are going to be for your 110 outlets. 12-volt fuses on the right hand side are marked from the top to the bottom exactly what they are, and they do have a little red light off to the right hand side of them. Anytime one of those 12-volt fuses would blow, it has a little red light that indicates that the fuse side of it is blowed, that you can also see through the meshed bit in the front. So here again, we're going to go into the master bathroom. Excuse me, which does have our GFCI outlet in it that protects all the outlets in the unit. Faucet turns to the left hand side for the hot water, turn to the right hand side for the cold water. Does have
a sink stopper.
And we do have a sink stopper, so you can wash your hands, brush your teeth, whatever you want to do. Does have a pretty good sized shelf underneath it for extra toilet paper, chemicals. Single foot flush on the toilet in the front. You push halfway down, fills with water, push all the way down, fills and dumps. We have hot water on the left side of the bathroom shower, cold water on the right. Does have an off and on button up here at the top. We do have a vent in the bathroom that we can lift up. Little black switch turns the fan on. The light in the bathroom has a little push button in the center of it for turning it on and off. So we're going to Flip our little black switch off, shut the fan off. We're gonna pull that back down. We're gonna turn the light off there. We're gonna come into the bunk area. Each one of the bunks has a light above it. Each one of the bunks has a USB port. Same way down here at the bottom, does have a light above it and a USB port there. We don't have a window on the bottom bunk, but this will flip up. Lays over. A little bitty L bracket here comes up, clicks into place. Got quite a bit of storage underneath the bed. Storage enough here for bicycles for the young ones. Once the bicycles are out, you can pull the handle, lay the seat back down. Use top and bottom bunk. Since this is kind of a bedded area here, there is another fire escape window. It's pretty easy to use. Both red handles come up, hit in the center of the window for access out there. For coming out the front side of the unit. Put the red handles back down. It is marked as an exit. It also has a 110 outlet beside it. We're going to go back up to the thermostat for the furnace. It has an off position. All you have to do is dial it up. Excuse me. Automatically the fan's going to come on the furnace. Here in just about a minute you're going to hear a little tick, 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 tick. Furnace will light on itself. Then it also has a little glass eye. Lower left hand side, about 3 vents up, and you can actually see the blue flame burning in it when the furnace is lit.
There it is.
So here again, I'm going to go back to the thermostat. I'm going to turn the furnace off because we don't need that today. Even though the flame just went out, that fan's going to run anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes until it cools its chamber down. That way it doesn't just shut off automatically. It does have pretty good sized cabinet space up above with another 110 outlet up inside there. The light that didn't come on a while ago does have a push button in the center of it for making it come on and off. We're going to go back to the controls on the AC. We're going to run the thermostat wide open on it. It has 2 low speeds on the fan, 1 high speed on the fan, 2 on the cool, 1 on the low and 1 on the high. AC will vent out either side. It also has 2 black filters, 1 on either side of it. I do know the cleaner you keep the filters, the quicker it cools down and the better it'll maintain its temperature on the inside of the unit. That is basically, we got 1 more vent here in the ceiling. It can be used for the stove. And a little black switch that turns the fan on and in. Here again, we're going to turn it back off. We're going to close down the vent lid.
And your kitchen sink.
Kitchen sink is marked with a red dot and a blue dot all the way down, and back is for the heat. All the way up and back is for the cold side of the water system, and it does have a stopper strainer in the center of it. But that's basically about, we ain't all the way done.
Oh, we're not all the way done.
No, we're not all the way done. We missed the most important part.
We did miss the most important, the brain.
The brain. So when we come back up to the monitor panel itself, it has a battery button that shows you the juice that's in the battery. To get an accurate reading on the battery, you'll want to have the 110 line unplugged. Then push your button and it'll tell you exactly how much voltage is in the battery. Our fresh tank should have at least 1/3 of a tank of water in it right now because we did the water system again today. And then your black tank, which is your toilet water, should be empty. And your gray tank, which is your kitchen sink, bathroom sink, and shower, and it should be empty. We're going to come down to the buttons right down below it. The first one on the left-hand side is the water pump switch that turns the water pump on between the freshwater tank and the faucets. The second one is the gas side of the hot water heater. We turn the gas button on automatically. The door side fault light comes on. That little red light's going to stay on for about a minute. Once that red light goes off, that hot water system goes through 3 lighting processes to light on gas. For any reason that hot water heater does not light on gas, that little red light's going to come back on. And here again, you can almost hear the hot water heater lid on the outside. So we know that it's running. We know the hot water heater's got water in it because we popped the pop-off valve at the top. First light switch here turns the LED lights underneath the awning on. Second one turns the center row of lights. in the living kitchen area. And then we also have a switch for the awning. We'll step down out of the way. We're gonna let that awning roll all the way out, or as far out as we can get it. It does have a little skirt on the end of the awning too that should hang straight up and down, but I don't think we're gonna get it all the way out, that slide room out. But we'll take it out as far as we can. We're gonna stop right there before we crash the other side of the trailer. And it does have a pinch point on each one of the arms. You can pull down against that. 1 to 6 settings on that would put the pitch of the ring coming off this corner of it, or you could do it the same way with the front arm and put the pitch of the ring going off towards the front. But to do that, you squeeze the 2 little tabs together, which accesses the roller bearings in and out. Let the 2 roller bearings pop back up, which puts the pitch of the ring coming off the back side of the awning. Here again, all you gotta do is push in on the 2 roller bearings. If you can hold your fingers tight enough to get it to go back up. Let it go back up to the bottom setting, and then you're set to let it roll back in. So we're going to bring it back in because it is a little windy today. And then we got our pretty little LED lights right underneath it.
We're sure the people you camp with light up your life, but just in case, you'll have awning lights to light up your life as well.
That's right. And that's basically everything on your unit. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them the best that I can. And thank you for your time.